Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online and see what happens stage.
And the site is live.
That we opened a store and need a fast checkout stage.
Thanks. You're all set.
That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And that, wait, did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Whatever your stage, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen.
Hey, Adam Culbertson here. Before we begin, we got a promo from another independent podcast, so when you finish this episode, make sure you go and check them out.
This is a Ninth World Journal. A careless experiment with a teleportation device has left me stranded in random places throughout the Ninth World. While trying to survive in these strange lands, I must find a way to reverse my condition.
A Ninth World Journal is a science fantasy audio drama podcast. Subscribe to listen or visit ninthworldjournal.com.
Steal your mind for eldritch horrors of the universe unknown. For what is to follow is a tale of intrigue, mystery, and madness. You're listening to Microphones and Monsters. All right, so everybody did level up. You were all level 5, and we'll just go around the room opposite of what we did last time. So, Steven, first, what's some changes with your leveling up to level 5 monk, all necrophage?
Right. Level 5 necrophage. So I got 5 key points now instead of 4. That's handy. My slow fall increased from 20 to 25 feet. I also, my key save is up to 13. My martial arts damage, which is my bite and my claw, and I'm assuming if I did some sort of other martial arts damage, is up to a 1d6 instead of a d4. Also, the potential damage through my psychic feast trait, the feast on thought, it's gone up from 3d6 to 4d6. So if I ever use that, that will be very handy. Mm-hmm. I also, my 2-hit went up from +5 to +7 on all my stuff because I was supposed to go up to +6 at level 4, and I did not know that. And my bonus damage on all my hits is at a +4 instead of a +3. So I got pretty formidable. Most of that was due to my proficiency bonus going from 2 to 3. And as far as monk stuff goes, I also got an extra attack. So now I can attack twice instead of once, which is like 100% more attacks on a base level. And I also can do a stunning strike, so I can expend a key point, and the target has to survive a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the beginning of my next turn, or until the end of my next turn, excuse me.
All right.
And Julian's slightly more confident because we survived all that stuff.
about me surviving, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. What did Julian acquire in this level up?
He acquired the elixir of eternal youth, so he never has to worry about aging again. So he just literally sees all his friends just crumble around him, and he's just like, "Oh, that sucks. I guess I'll make tea." What I did grab is I can finally cast second level spells. Thank God. The one thing about Artificer, and this is the first time I've ever played it, is they're definitely not a hard casting class. They're very much a hybrid. And it is a little different than what I've seen before. Something to note though, with I took a classification which is the alchemic savant specialization. So anytime I cast a spell using alchemist tools or supplies as a focus, I get +4 if it is a healing spell or a damage spell that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison, which most of my spells are either poison or acid, with I think one new fire spell I have. I also got 2 free spells because of that. I got Flaming Sphere and Acid Arrow, which is handy. Outside of that, not much else. I think that was really the only thing I got besides, hit points and all that jazz.
Ooh, I got hit points too. Not very many.
So like you said, alchemist, artificer, being a hybrid. You don't get a lot of spells. You don't even go past level 5 spells, I think. Mm-hmm. All the way to 20, but you get to make magic items. You can attune to more magic items at higher levels and everything like that. So it really makes up for
it's
the spells.
It's a different version, like, because the big thing that everyone likes is have a bard in the party because there's a huge utility character and skill monkey. Artificer is a different kind of utility character, which is hopefully I'll do it justice while playing it, but it's pretty nifty.
Yeah. Instead of you being proficient in everything, you make magic items.
And I mean, and there's there's 4 other specializations you can grab. So there's armor, artillerist, and battlesmith. So I haven't looked at a whole lot of those. Artillerist kind of looks a little interesting.
Those are. You would have to choose that like at level 3 or something.
Yeah. So I've already chosen alchemical, but I was just kind of looking at those. But that would kind of be to spec into a more like damaged focus, whereas in this campaign and per the character, I'm more of a healing focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense being a doctor.
All right.
Yeah. It does. It's almost like I rolled it that way.
What, thinking out your character? That's impressive.
It is. In this day and age.
Aleister. What did Aleister acquire?
So the normal goodies like HP on level, another pretty good chunk of HP. Pretty tanky cat at this point, I guess. Also proficiency up, which everybody got, but still is nice. Adds into spell DCs and attack bonuses, a few skills. The big things for the class are a spell selection and an invocation. The spell selection, I'm going with Cloud of Daggers, which is a pretty good spell. Since also this level, all of my spells go up to 3rd level now.
Yeah.
So Cloud of Daggers is just kind of a 5-foot cube that deals 64 slashing damage. And I can concentrate up to a minute for it.
Oh, wow.
And it affects anything that starts its turn in the cube or enters the cube. And obviously when I cast it as well.
So it's like
the invocation. It is pretty good. It's limited because it's only a 5-foot cube and it can't move.
It's kind of like your moonbeam thing that you did.
Kind of like the moonbeam, but the moonbeam I can move around. But the invocation, which totally doesn't fit with that. I don't know why we suggested that. But the invocation I'm taking is Repelling Blast, which when I hit something with Eldritch Blast, it allows me to push them back by 10 feet.
That's really handy.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be useful sometime here or there.
Push him, I can stun him,
Hell yeah. All right, and that's it.
Oh, I mean, did we want to say how much HP everyone got, or does it not matter?
That would insinuate that I remember what my HP
That
total
was
was
almost
before.
a month ago, and I know what my total is now. I just don't remember what I rolled.
I have my old sheet in front of me.
Yeah, you could tell me so I could write down your total HP. That'll be helpful for me.
Well, I have 31 HP now.
52. It's 52.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm at 41.
that's not a lie. Very jealous.
Victor is 31 though.
31. That's it.
I am 38.
You know what? I am so glad that all of your names start with a different letter, so I just have to write the initial, just the A, J, or V.
VJA.
It's really handy.
Yeah.
VAJ.
Vag.
Not Jav.
Jav.
Avj.
Okay. So from where we left off, y'all did your day in town as your leisure activity. There was 3 days that just nothing was really going on. The leaders of the detective agency didn't come to you for anything. There wasn't any immediate danger, and you guys, after going through the beast, the house, you were kind of overwhelmed by the whole thing, and you are kind of wanting to prepare a little better before going and going up against things that you do not know. So you have 3 days. You had 3 days to come up with something to prepare for your next mystery, your next encounter. And who wants to start with what you did over the course of 3 days?
Well, I think mine might be a little easely and maybe not entirely, but the start is pretty easy. I mean, lots of napping. Napping is very good. Some more research. Definitely a lot of things that I have to look into concerning recent events. New frame of reference for old information.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of pouring through books and pouring through the books at the office. And one other thing, I still have a lot of questions for the Cats of Wolf War.
So are you wanting to try and find them and talk to them?
I would like to try and find them and talk to them if possible.
When you go into the Dreamlands, you over the course of the 3 days in between napping and while you're napping,
while I'm
in
napping.
between
We can
in between
multipurpose.
reading and traveling back and forth between your house and the detective agency, taking naps on your desk or taking naps at home. You're going through the Dreamlands, and it is eerily empty of other cats. Like, you're not seeing a whole lot of cats, and any time that you try to approach any, they jump away from you, like long distance, jumping away from you.
Figures they would be like this. They promise us information and they ask us to take over a problem for them, and then they just leave.
But it's definitely not normal for you to see so little activity in the Dreamlands.
Well, I suppose that's what we get for trusting cats.
Were you looking for any information in particular while going through books that you're trying to find answers on?
Primarily, the normal studies of trying to find out anything I can about maybe time manipulation and or Tulsa, but with the kind of frame of reference of the Hound.
You don't find... I'm sorry, I'm not very helpful to you today.
Well, I'm asking big questions.
You don't find a whole lot of information on the beast. Basically, what Fiona told you was basically what they know, and that's basically all the information you could find in any books in the library at the DDA. And nothing beyond that. It taking a form and going out as a hound, it's like a hellhound looking creature,
Right.
is a new development. So you are able to record that in the library if you want to.
I mean, like, I was just looking for.
Yeah, you don't have
information.
to. You don't have to. I was just saying you could.
I mean, if you really want to play out like going through all of that, but
No, I don't want to. I was just saying you could if you want to, and then that's it. We're done.
I think we covered it pretty well.
Okay. We're done.
It's over.
No,
but
no,
as
I
far
want to
as
go page by page. Like,
yeah, no.
okay, I turn the page. What does the next page say?
In the beginning,
You-
God created the heaven and the earth.
No. I was saying if you wanted to like write it in a tome.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, actually add information to the library.
Yeah, yeah.
You can work for them
Oh.
now. You know, contribute.
I'll keep my own personal journal of these things, and maybe at a later time I'll deign to actually add it to their stores.
Now, as you are going through stuff in the library, you notice that a lot of the books and tomes and everything, not all of them are just hardback books or anything. A lot of them are personal journals from agents and everything. So there's that.
Yeah. So apparently I'm not the only asshole.
Yeah. As far as Tulsa goes, you do find out that the emerald that you have is called the Body of Tulsa, which in meta you knew that, but
Right, but in character I did not.
in character you now know that it's the Body of Tulsa, and what you have, it does have different effects for a cat than it does other things that would just wear it, because you absorb it into your body magically.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting the full effects of it because it is broken.
Figures.
And retcon. I was saying corrosive damage during the fight with the hound, and corrosive damage I don't even think is a thing. I meant to say necrotic damage because the fire is actually the fire that was coming out of the hound. It's a necrotic corrosive fire, rather than burning. It's more corrosive, and
acid damage is a thing, but it's its own damage type.
Yeah, but the necrotic damage is a corrosive fire rather than just burning fire damage.
Right.
Or are you talking
But
about,
I
talking about like accelerated entropy almost?
I'm guessing more.
I don't know what that means.
It's kind of weird because you're trying to add real world logic in, but I guess it's kind of like chemical burns. Although that is actually because of like strong acids or strong bases.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more like strong
literally
bases.
The bonds of material just like fall apart and it just kind of turns to goo.
Yeah, but for some reason corrosive got stuck in my head, and I said necrotic originally, and then I changed it to corrosive while we were fighting. But yeah, it is necrotic, and you do have that immunity to necrotic damage with the amulet, but that's all you're getting from it, and you know that there's more there, but it's broken.
No, just for clarification, because I think you said before it was resistance to necrotic damage. Is it resistance or is it immunity?
I'm sorry. Yes, it is resistance, not immune. Yeah.
Okay.
Immunity would have been dope.
Yeah.
Hey guys, watch this. Just like walk into like a field of necrotic energy.
But I think that's all I got for Aleister on that. All right. Who wants to do their 3-day prep?
I'll go next. So,
Okay.
Julian, kind of after going through the fight that we went through at the house/mansion, I'm learned from that fight that I can't. It's very hard to do continuously healing for the 2 other members of the agency, so I need to have a backup plan. especially if now that I have the lightning gun, that's something that I can use offensively. But if that fails, then I have to use my other alchemical means. But I do want a backup plan for whatever reason if my magically infused alchemy doesn't have any kind of effect. I still need to be able to heal my people or do damage. So I was going to spend the next couple days in just kind of reviewing notes in my book about kind of things that are happening, and just kind of like, have a pot brewing of potion of healing. Just kind of in the background, just kind of looking at it, make sure I don't boil it over and just go like, oh shit, and then I have to restart all over again.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'd have to do is first, I need components to make the potion. So I need to go and see who's got what I need within the agency, because I know the agency with resources, they're going to have something like this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go out and buy it.
And I'm not going to role play this. The DDA does have a lot of resources for making potions and different chemicals and all kinds of stuff. So I would say you don't have to pay any gold. You don't have to go to a store and buy things or anything like that. The room that you met Fiona in the previous session, you would be able to make the potions in that room.
In that room? Okay. Yeah. So I guess I just, spend the majority of the daytime just, in that lab area, just, cranking these out as best I can.
That's a good name for it. It is a lab. Yes.
The lab floor.
Yeah.
Do we know exactly how many floors are in the DDA yet?
No.
You can think you do.
Yeah, you can think you do, yeah.
If I can't see it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I would think making the potion it takes about 8 hours to make a potion. That's what I've decided. During that 8 hours, you can be working on the lightning gun, trying to figure it out, because it's made of materials that you don't know.
And yeah, so while I'm kind of, keeping an eye on the potion or something like that, is there anything I could kind of glean for the mechanics, like, how the lightning's generated, the nature of the metal that is the frame of the gun?
You can't, you've never seen the material like it, but you do notice that there's a magical core that charges up when it fires.
Okay.
So it draws power from that core.
And it is magical, though. It's not like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's you don't know exactly how it's working, but you have like gleaned that it that like the core is like the engine of the gun, and you're starting to figure it out, but you don't know exactly how it works.
And then definitely no discernible markings like, with some magically crafted items, they'll say, they'll put like whoever made it will put like their branding on it kind of thing. This is not something that's branded. This is definitely not something that you could find anywhere else.
China.
I will say that if you do any research at all while you're going through it, there's like a stamp into it kind of deal, like a branding into it, and it's in a language you don't like the letters, you don't recognize them, but you do know that it's Yithian, but you don't know how to translate it.
Okay, then I'll continue, minding the potions, making sure, they get brewed correctly, kind of pour over the gun as best that we've described. And then, maybe later on I might go and see if I can get the Yithian translated or transcribed.
Okay. And there is a book that you did find on it, but it's not like fully translated or anything. Like nobody, like the book the particular book that you found doesn't have like a direct translation, but more just on the knowledge of the Yith.
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's about it for
Yeah.
that. And you made 3 potions?
Yep. And they
Just regular potions of healing?
Yeah, regular. Yeah, because if anything, I think regular potions of healing is fine. Any kind of like, greater healing or something like that, that'd be asking for a lot in terms of like components.
Yeah. Yeah. And it would take longer to make those 2.
For sure.
All right. Steven, what did Victor do?
Victor, he also noticed how things were a little bit rough, and so he wanted to be more prepared for different types of situations, and he would have gone through the sort of former roster of DDA agents, detectives, in that crypt to try to locate a few with particular sort of more in the moment skills that he might need, and so he's gonna find an agent that was particularly adept in athletics, and another that was very good at persuasion. And Victor is gonna go into the kitchen, and Victor has a cookbook that he keeps with him, not like everywhere he goes, but it's a special cookbook that he uses for this type of thing. And he's gonna whip out his brewer's kit because he can brew ale. It's all fancy, and he's going to use the recipes in this cookbook to make 2 types of sort of a brew to imbue himself with abilities for a shorter time. The recipe, what it does is he's able to use his monkish necrophage ghoul abilities to get skills for a short period of time. So it's not the same as a permanent insight, and it only lasts as long as the alcohol in the brew that he makes lasts. So it give or take an hour, you have a drink, you got a little buzz. That little buzz sort of gives him the abilities of who he was, based on his focus. If that makes sense. And there's 2 types of brews that you can make. There's a shorter brew, you can make quickly, and then there's one that takes, a little bit longer. So one takes 48 hours and one takes a full 7-day week. And so he's going to brew the one for persuasion to be the 48 hours. So he's going to do a shorter time brew. He's going to make that one first. And then after that one's done, then he's going to set up the other one. Did I say athletics or acrobatics? Athletics.
You said athletics.
Athletics. Then the athletics is going to be sort of the stronger, slower brew process.
Okay. And we figured out the brewing process for that and the results. The 48-hour brew, you would get a +1 to a skill for an hour for drinking it. Of course, it would have diminishing returns and negative effects if you were to drink a lot over time, but you don't have enough to make a lot. You only have time to make one and do the prep for the week one, and it takes a week to ferment.
Yeah.
But the week one, when you eventually do get it, based on your roll for it, it'll be a +2 or a +3 for 1 hour.
Cool. So that leaves me with the +1 for an hour brew for persuasion.
Yep.
Also, in that time, in the first day or two, Victor would go and just check on Luth, not for any particular reason, just to sort of catch up, and say hi, make sure he's doing okay.
He just wants to see how his friend's doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what he does. I mean, they're good friends. He's one of the only friends he has, aside from the shaky relationship with Aleister and Julian. And so he would just want to go and spend a little bit of time with him and catch up. It wouldn't be any, have you heard anything about the town or anything? Just sort of the last time he saw Luth, he heard Luth got, the full initiation into the Stoneclaw children. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
I remembered. Because I care. And so he would go and just spend half a day with Luth and just sort of hang out, But the last thing that he would probably do in this time is he would take I forget exactly who had them, but he'd take the samples of flesh that we took from Nihilus Creel and Matthias's hand. And he would go back to his cookbook and work on preparing those in a particular way to be able to draw out the specific memories of events that he's looking for. And so for Nihilus Creel, he would be looking for two things. One, more information about the portals, that the Moonbees came out of, more specific information than we got the first time. The first time was like a flash, it was, and that was because he hadn't prepared it this way. He just sort of ate the meat and got that flash because it was so strong. So he's looking for more specific, concrete details there. And he's also looking, probably the week or two prior to see if he can glean any more information about Nihilus's wife, Astra, her political dealings, interactions with Dalton Renfield, with the alleged sabotage stuff that was going on, any information on those. And so he's got those prepared to where he can eat them. I don't know if he would eat them while the other guys are not around, but he's got them prepared.
This is the first time you've brought up the cookbook in play. And what kind of cookbook is it?
It's a very unusual cookbook. Victor did not write this cookbook. He found it. And it does have, it's got recipes in there that are designed to take advantage of the natural, I don't know how to phrase it, biology, just what happens when a mythos ghoul feasts on someone. So we've already established that you can get memories of that person, you can get traits of that person. It's designed in a way to concentrate that process. So to add focus to what's happening, to be able to dig deep into it. And it was obviously written by another mythos ghoul who had the same who had those types of goals, to try to draw out almost the essence of a person and be able to use that to their advantage.
That was more than I was looking for. I was looking for Cannibal Cookbook.
Is the book actually called How to Cook Humans?
It's how to serve humans.
It's how to serve 40 humans.
Yeah, in his inventory it says Cannibal Cookbook.
Yeah. It's a cookbook on how to cook humanoid flesh for mythos ghouls.
Okay, I have two things. One, if you were doing this around Julian would tell you that the word you're looking for is physiology.
There we go, physiology.
Second thing, I was waiting for you to drop to say it was inked in human flesh and blood and had a face on it because it's the Necronomicon.
No, it's not.
It is not the Necronomicon.
Then Victor reads some stuff out loud.
Klats
and locks Julian in the basement because he goes insane. More insane.
Actually, when you were first talking about all the stuff with like eating people for skills, I can't help but feel like you're trying to be Liam Neeson. See, I have a particular set of skills that I obtained by eating people. People that were good at tracking meat.
Instead of taking, it's eaten.
Now you just need to eat Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Victor Stodge.
Hopefully, I didn't go too in depth on the cookbook, but that's
that's perfect.
Dope.
Where I would normally like role play out the memory sequence and everything like that. I'm not going to do it here just because limited time and want to get started, just like with everybody else. Whenever you eat Matthias's hand that you prepared, you see a memory where he, from his point of view, of course, you see a yellow-robed man in a dark alley. You see a yellow-robed person. You don't see a face. Their face is shadowed by the hood on their head, and but you can make out that the robes are yellow, just from the dim light coming from the street.
And they're robes. They're not like the mummy man that we just ran into.
No, it's not like the. No, it's actually it looks like a very fine cloth. Like there's embroidery on it and everything like that, and you see this yellow cloaked man or person hand a violin case to Matthias, and he opens it up, and you see him looking at the violin that he was playing, that you confiscated and put into the library with Hastings, and you see him just like feeling it with his hand and feeling the bow with his hand and everything. And you feel like a sense of like this overwhelming like emotion just come over you of not happiness, but like a euphoric emotion come over you, and the memory ends.
Cool. That's helpful.
As far as eating the sample from Nihilus Creel, well, first of all, before that, Julian, Julian has the sample of Nihilus Creel.
I can't remember if I did or if I gave it to the DDA. No, I would.
No, you never, unless you gave it to Victor. You never. All you said was that you took a sample of Nihilus Creel before you had given him to the Crypt folk.
Yeah, I definitely remember doing that. I guess I held on to it.
Okay, so Victor, you would have to acquire the sample of Nihilus from Julian before you could do anything with it.
Nihilus, I really need a hit, man.
I need my Nihilus fix.
No, the question is do you ask me for it, or do you get it while I'm indisposed of down in the lab?
I ask you for it.
Damn it.
And I explain what I'm going to use it for.
And I'm... okay. Go ahead and ask me for it.
Oh, okay. Are we in our loft, or are we in? Did I come down to the lab to see you?
Well, I'm down in the lab right now.
Okay, so I'll come down to the lab. So, hey, Julian. I'm trying to look more into that stuff we saw going on with Aleister Creel and Dalton Renfield. And so I thought it might be helpful if I could see if Nihilus Creel maybe knew anything about that like check on the portal and the Moonbeast thing that happened to him and see if I can get any information. Do you think that I might be able to use that sample you took of him to do that?
Julian's just kind of looking at the corner of eyes out on that potion, and he's just kind of looking over the lightning gun. If it'll make you go away while I'm trying to work, I have no problem with it. It's up in some of my things in a jar, and it should be labeled.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I had to bother you, but I didn't want to take it.
See, you're doing it again. You're rambling again. Just go.
Okay.
Go.
And then I leave very quietly.
All right, so you make it, you cook it up, and you go through his stuff, and you find it. When you eat it, you get a memory of inside this really nice house. From Nihilus's point of view, of course, you come down the stairs and you hear talking in a room at the bottom of the stairs, and you walk in, and Sheriff Barham is talking with Astra Creel in the dining room. They're discussing the saboteur, what's going on down at the factory, and Astra is insisting that Dalton Renfield has something to do with it, and the sheriff is agreeing with her, but he's telling her basically what he told. Well, you don't know this, but he's basically telling her that we need to pretend like we don't know that he's involved in any way. That he needs to get proof before they take any action against him, because if they scare him, they won't be able to find anything on him. And he leaves, and then you kind of skip a little bit, and Nihilus Creel is preparing a meal, and this meal, you, like, as he's making it, like, you remember all the ingredients he used, the amount of ingredients. He's talking to her, saying that he's going to a meeting with all the theater folk, and since he wasn't able to eat dinner with her, that he made dinner for her and her guests that night. And it was her favorite meal, and then he walks towards the door, puts his jacket on, and the memory ends.
Okay, so I got a recipe. It's better than nothing.
Not only a recipe, but it's a recipe that's tied to someone that might be good for leverage later.
Mm-hmm. Leverage. Such a negative word.
One of these days, we're going to actually influence you to the dark side.
One day. Hey, you know what? I was super impressed you didn't snoop through any of my stuff while I was indisposed of.
Yeah. Victor is very, very upright. He wouldn't want his things being gone through and, magic done on him or anything.
Cool. Noted. Hey guys, Max here. You just finished listening to episode 29. We're all level 5 now, so we can disappoint you at a higher level. Just a downtime episode this time. Although we had some interesting bits. Aleister tried to find more about his mysterious powers and his otherworldly patron. I brewed some potions and was annoyed. Victor, on the other hand, had a big day. He brewed a bunch of beer and cooked some dead people. He made 2 different recipes, which I have taken the liberty of naming Matthias Chicken Fingers and Creole Parmesan. And we both, as players, Richard and I tried to tempt Steven into evil, and he does not take the bite, he does not take the bait, which is kind of sweet. Just as an aside, it's a very troubling time right now between COVID pandemic and the George Floyd protests right now. Just want to let all of you guys know that we really do appreciate your feedback and support, and I would ask all of you to show that same kindness and support to everybody, regardless of who they are or how they look. We all really need that right now. All of our music and songs are written and produced by Marco Mazzei at Fallen Highway Studios. Please visit us at www.microphonesandmonsters.com. We currently have a Patreon open now. We only have one tier of support. We are working on other goodies and extras to add into that. Thank you all for listening, and tune in next time.